Welcome to Guide to Survive. The world is a big, beautiful place full of incredible and breathtaking sights and experiences. It's also doing everything it can to kill you, and so that's where this program fits in. Before you venture into the great outdoors, you need to learn about all of the terrifying and mystical creatures that lurk in the woods, knock on your window, and hide in your toilet. With this guide, you'll learn how to identify a would-be assailant, analyze its strengths and weaknesses, and deal with it effectively. By the end of your training, you'll be ready to take on any creep or cryptid that crosses your path. So here's to you, and the great adventure that lies ahead. Let's begin.
Target analysis. Name: Dullahan, Gan Shon, without a head. Class: Cryptid, fairy, possible embodiment of pagan deity. Habitat: Ireland. Lifespan: not applicable. Strengths: undead, both rider and horse, highly durable, superior speed while riding. The head is capable of seeing in the dark as well as over long distances, and the Dullahan also has the ability to reap souls. Weaknesses: gold. I know, right? What's that all about? Overall threat level: 8. Behavior: the Dullahan, a terrifying presence that thunders across the otherwise peaceful countryside of the Emerald Isle. A headless rider atop a black demonic steed. But this is no mere undead horseman, for its origins are steeped in ancient pagan worship. Cryptid was a god to the Celts of pre-Christian Ireland. This deity was appeased with human sacrifices offered in return for a bountiful harvest. However, after an intense altercation with St. Patrick, this old god was cast out of Ireland, and thus the act of human sacrifice was ended. Though perhaps not entirely, as it is believed that the Dullahan is the personification of this ancient deity. The confrontation with St. Patrick and no longer receiving regular sacrifices, resulting in Cryptid losing a great amount of its power, and thus taking a lesser form, that of a headless horseman. Thus it spends eternity riding across Ireland, taking sacrifices for itself and sustaining its power and existence. Diminished though it may be, it is still very powerful. It is also possible that the Dullahan which rides across Ireland today are those once sacrificed to the pagan deity, now sent out to gather sacrifices for the one they serve in death. The Dullahan is most notable for being headless and carrying its severed head in one hand. The head itself is said to appear rotten, with soft, discolored, withered flesh stretching gauntly across the skull, with a large, sinister, and unnatural grin stretched across its face. The body of the Dullahan will hold the head up high as its eyes can scan back and forth through the darkness of night, determinedly searching for a soul to reap. Then it will call out the name of the one it is searching for, the one set to die. For the one chosen, upon hearing the call of the Dullahan, their soul will immediately be torn from their body, and their mortal remains will fall stone dead. I know that feeling. There's a few people that when beckoning my name make me want to drop dead too. The horse that accompanies the rider is a dark, demonic beast, ferociously galloping across the Irish countryside, devoted to the command of its master. The headless rider will crack a whip made from a human spine to order the dark beast onward. What's more is that the legend of the Dullahan steed is said to be a set of 6 horses pulling a death coach behind them. The nightmarish wagon is allegedly comprised of candles, human bones, and leathered human flesh. which I guess is like recycling, so silver lining? Remarkably and mysteriously, the Dullahan is said to be afraid, or at least have a strong revulsion, of gold. The reason behind this is believed to be related to High King Tibanmas, an early devotee of the old god, who died while worshipping, along with 3/4 of his army. It is said that gold was first smelted in Ireland under the rule of Tibanmas. Perhaps the High King knew something we didn't about Cryptid, or perhaps he did something to Ireland's gold to make the old deity wary of it. The true reason behind this fear of gold is still unknown. But I'm not one to look a gift horse, pun intended, in the mouth. So now's the time to bring out all that bling that you think makes you look cool and drive it away. But be warned, the Dullahan will always come back. In conclusion, the Dullahan is a remarkable, ancient and foreboding cryptid. Riding across the length and breadth of Ireland, reaping souls, perhaps as a sacrifice to itself, to bolster its power and keep a foothold in a world that has long abandoned its worship. The sheer horror of its appearance is no simple threat, for this headless rider lives up to every nightmare it instills in those who witness it. Its weakness is minimal, for the rider endures and is eternal. So run, hide, fight if you must, for when Dullahan calls, death is close. Stratagem. So, here's the scenario. You're enjoying an evening stroll through the Irish countryside when you feel a sudden coldness take hold. Death is once again trying to grip you, and there is no Jar 19 in sight to buy you some more time on this mortal plane. Just then, you hear the clamour of hooves thundering against the ground, and atop its back is a Dullahan. It holds up its severed head in order to find you. Your plan of attack. Firstly, not listening. Block your ears as well as you can. This should muffle the call of the Dullahan, potentially saving your life. This is just a theory, mind you, but still worth a go. Secondly, gold member. If you have any gold on you, now is the time to use it. If the Dullahan gets too close, throw the gold at it. Extra points for hitting its severed head. Thirdly, hiding spot. If you have no gold, try hiding and remaining as still, discreet, and silent as possible. The Dullahan might just ride past you. Fourthly, keep away. If all else fails, then make a mad dash for the severed head of the Dullahan. Grab it and play keep away with the disembodied corpse. Do your best to trip the body before throwing the head as far away as you can and making a break for it. Fifthly, fantastic work. You live to flee another day. Pop quiz. Question number 1. Is it true that the head the Dullahan carries is inanimate? Question number 2. Is it true that the Dullahan will carry the head of its latest victim? Question number 3. Is it true that there are female Dullahan? Question number 4. Is it true that the Dullahan is weak to gold? Question number 5. Is it true that a Dullahan will only appear when someone is set to die? Answers. Question number 1. Is it true that the head the Dullahan carries is inanimate? Answer, no. The head that the Dullahan carries can see and speak in order to aid its body. Question number 2. Is it true that the Dullahan will carry the head of its latest victim? Answer, no. The Dullahan will carry its own head. Question number 3. Is it true that there are female Dullahan? Answer, yes. There have been reports of female as well as male Dullahan. Question number 4. Is it true that the Dullahan is weak to gold? Answer, yes. gold is certain to fend off the Dullahan. Question number 5. Is it true that a Dullahan will only appear when someone is set to die? Answer, yes. The Dullahan will call the name of someone near to death and reap their soul. If you scored 0 to 1, then your name has been called by the Dullahan. If you scored 2 to 3, then you might be alive, but you'll never attend another rodeo. And if you scored 4 to 5, amazing work. You really taught that Dullahan to rein it in. Hey, you're the one who keeps buying these things. Conclusion. Excellent work. I'd say you're ready to get out there and face whatever challenges plot against you. And if you're not, then don't worry. You can rewatch these survival guides as much as you like. And they're non-refundable. I'm very proud of the progress you've made, and I know you're going to take the future in your stride. I've got a good feeling about you, Sleepy Hollow. I couldn't resist. Good luck, and don't die!